we finished The Flash Season 5, Episode 11, titled Seeing Red. So, for this one, we start off with Cicada attaining a meta-human criminal list from the CCPD.
Yes, and as you guys all remember, if you guys haven't seen that episode, he attains it from this police officer who had been wrongfully
Hypnotized
used by a meta-human in a way, right? So he has, like, because of that, then he has like a personal vendetta against meta-humans, and he printed the list out and he gave it to Cicada so that Cicada can go and hunt them all down.
Yeah.
These metas are not unknown metas. They are all metas that have been arrested by Barry and the CCPD and have been brought to prison, gone through the trial, and served their time. So their names, their addresses, their profiles are all in the database. So he's only going after known metas,
yeah.
ones that in a way Barry has encountered before, and because of this, the Flash team starts to find out who he's going after, because he attacks two metas at the beginning. One of them, I don't remember their names, but one of them is the guys you guys all remember. He was from last season. He had that snake that came out of his eyeball, and then there was another guy who was kind of like this bigger, chunkier guy. And Cicada kills the bigger guy, and then the snake guy ran away.
So, in the process of it, the Team Flash starts to figure out, okay, who they have to go gather and save. And in the process of going to go save this next metahuman, XS, which is Nora, she gets a cut and she gets hit in the back.
Breaks her back.
Yeah, so she ends up sitting down for this episode, and
more like laying down.
Yeah, because
she's paralyzed.
Her feet can't move or anything like that, and so that happens to her. So we end up having Ralph, Caitlin, and Barry go and collect all the metahumans, bring them all together, and tell them about Cicada and what Cicada is trying to do to them. And Cecile pulls off a favor from the Fed to do her a favor and to give these metahumans new identity and everything to get them to live a new life, because they already served their time and they're like, pretty much they turn out for the good now, you know. So they
we don't know, but we assume that they are going to improve their lives.
Yeah.
Some of them are, some of them aren't, but they're trying to put them all in protective custody. By putting them in protective custody, they're in a way protected by the federal government, but then they will be living a new life. So in their process of trying to gather up the people and everything, Nora obviously is paralyzed. If you guys remember from Flash Season 2, Barry kind of went through the same thing. He got beat the hell up by Zoom, and Zoom broke his back. So Nora kind of broke her. Cicada did the same thing, but because of his power, when he cut her, he negated her powers.
It dampened her powers to heal.
Right.
So she was healing really slow.
So she was kind of like Barry. She was taking a whole day to come back.
Yeah. So besides all that, there's we have Cisco. He's in Caitlin's dad's lab, so we don't see him for this episode.
Yeah.
And then we get Caitlin, who is trying to create the cure to help Cisco, and at the same time she's battling with Killer Frost, because Killer Frost does not want to be thrown away or get rid of. So Killer Frost would erase Caitlin's formulas and get rid of everything, and so Caitlin would always have trouble trying to come up with the formula and everything like that for Cisco. And then we get Ralph, who gets a little talk with Caitlin and Killer Frost about it, and pretty much Ralph is because when it's Caitlin, from the looks of it looks like Caitlin doesn't really tell Killer Frost much that she doesn't want to get rid of Killer Frost, when Killer Frost thinks that Caitlin wants to get rid of her. Right. And Ralph pretty much speaks to Killer Frost and says that she she likes you, you know, you become a part of her. She doesn't want to get rid of you and all this stuff like that. So it's just getting this cure is to help other people who don't want their powers and wants a normal life.
Yeah.
While for Caitlyn, she doesn't want that. She was against it. She wants to be with you. She wants you to be a part of her life. And so this gets Killer Frost to, you know, pretty much help Caitlyn continue with the formula and not go up against her.
Yes. Also in the episode, we get kind of like a continuation of Sherlock Wells. He's still trying to crack the coding of what Nora has been writing in her book. Now, it almost looked like he's developed kind of a database where he's kind of put everything in the correct format, letters. Now he's scanning her book, and then it detects it and it puts out the words. He found out through that he needs to go to her time somehow, because he remembers that she told him she created it, which we all know she didn't. That she got it somehow. She got that information from the Monitor and his book of time. So we know that she has some sort of connection. That has some sort of connection to her.
Yeah.
With that, he kind of stays out of the whole Cicada chase. He's kind of just doing his own thing, and it's really more like Cecile and Iris who are helping Barry and them gather up all the metas so that they could send them away.
Yeah. And then during the process of getting the metas away, we get Cicada, who gets it from Officer Jones, the guy who actually gave the list away.
Yes.
He comes and he tells them where it's happening, what's going on, and so Cicada ends up at their hideout, and he pretty much break off the little thingy for the helicopter so it can't land anymore. And so Ralph is trying to get the metahumans on the helicopter while Caitlyn and Flash fights Cicada.
Yes.
With Cicada being there and his dagger there, Barry can't do anything. But we get to see what Killer Frost is capable of going against Cicada.
Yes.
She uses her powers, and as she stops and frees the blade, the dagger, Cicada is useless.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It kind of shows us an underlying message that Killer Frost's powers, not only does it freeze your body, it freezes your powers. So now we all had that one part in season 2 when in season 3, why was it that Savitar recruited Killer Frost to help him? And we found out that she could when she froze the Black Flash, right? She froze the Black Flash from the Speed Force and destroyed him. And that was kind of like a letdown to everybody, but it kind of makes sense now. They're kind of showing that her powers, not only does it freeze the person, it can freeze your meta powers in its place. So that's going to play a very big factor into how they're going to deal with Cicada, because obviously even if he cuts her, it's not going to dampen her powers. It doesn't work that way for her.
She's not a metahuman.
Yeah, she's not a dark matter metahuman. She's some other process metahuman.
Yeah. So with her doing that and Barry, we get to see Barry beat the hell out of Cicada, and
we get to see him go badass for the first time
in so long.
No, in the history of the Flash. We realize we always say this thing, Barry, you're so fucking fast. Just move so fast that they can't move and beat the crap out of them. And just charge yourself with so much energy that every single blow is like a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
But he never does it.
Well, for me, I get why he doesn't do it. Barry is a nice... Yes. Besides the Flash, he's Barry himself.
Lover. He's a loving man.
He's a nice guy.
Yes, he's a good guy.
He's not going to do that. He teaches... It's like what he said to his daughter, He doesn't kill them. He teaches them a lesson.
Pretty cool, guys.
Gosh, they've seen it so many times in my other videos. Anyway, so yeah, and then but this with Cicada, it angers him because it's his daughter. By destroying his daughter, Barry will not be able to put Nora back in her timeline. Therefore, it will screw everything up. And so Barry is mad, and it jumped up his powers and everything, and he just like beats the hell out of Cicada.
Correct.
But eventually, Cicada gets away, and Killer Frost gets a sample of Cicada's blood.
Right.
Therefore, she froze it to give it to Caitlin so Caitlin can run it to see what's going on. And they figured out that in order to get to Cicada, why Cicada is doing all this is he has a daughter, niece. Well, they said daughter, but it's more like his niece, and he treats it like his daughter, Grace. They need to wake up Grace for him to stop.
Right. Well, I think they think the theory now for them is that maybe because they feel like everybody has a good in them. So maybe if we tap into that part, he will stop trying to kill metahumans. My theory, he's not. My theory is he's gone full bad. As you guys know, once someone attains meta powers and becomes a metahuman, that kind of affects you and your personality. And if you kind of allow it to, you soak up that power and become power hungry, it changes you. And I think that's what's happened to Cicada, and they don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's, as you guys can see, he was struggling in the first couple episodes, but one of the episodes, he's learned to accept it, that if he just accepts it, it heals him, and it gets more powerful. Yeah. So it's getting into him, and he's like enjoying it.
Right. He's the dark matter seems to be affecting him kind of like how the Speed Force affects Barry. So it heals Barry. So it heals him. And he gets all these different powers. He can fly. He can do all these weird things. So but it almost looks like he can only do that if he has the dagger in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all that, Officer Jones gets arrested and everything like that. So
the metahumans, they're able to get them away. Mm-hmm. They're in protective custody, and they are theorizing that they're going to try and find and wake up his niece.
Yeah.
If they can wake her up, they feel like then he'll stop being Cicada.
Yeah. So we ended with that episode, and for the preview for next week, Nora ends up in a sleep.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a metatech that they touched, that they were able to get a hold of, and she touches it, and it puts her into sleep. Now, once she's in her sleep, she's going to go through her memories, and if she dies, she will never wake up again. So the Flash team has to go into her memories and save her.
Okay, yeah, but I just looked at the description of it. It says Sherlock actually uses this memory machine on Barry and Nora to help gain access to Grace's memory.
Grace?
Yeah, Grace. Cicada's niece. Grace.
Ah.
Her name is Grace.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
I just said that.
Very sorry.
Yeah, so it's something that it looks like Nora ended up using, and this Sherlock thinks that, Barry and Iris goes in there, they can see her memory, and they can connect. So it's a way to get into Grace's too.
Right, because she's not dead. She's in a coma.
Yeah.
Now, the episode's called Memorabilia, which is going to play into Nora's past, Nora's memories. And she worries. So even though she's in her memory, she's kind of like seeing the past, but she's narrating it.
Yeah.
Kind of like on the outside. So it's a little funky, but she doesn't want Barry to see what she knows. Yeah, obviously, you guys know she got her training from Ubard. She also learned about the history of them, and she's helping him. So we don't know what he's doing, but she's very naive. And if Barry learns that she is helping Ubard, Barry's gonna lose a lot of trust in her, and he's going to go to the future and potentially go and fuck up Ubard. So she doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah. And it seems like Barry can't see her memories. Only Iris can.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in a way. Because, as you guys know, Iris is the only one there raising her up. Mm-hmm. Barry's been gone already at that point. Which we all feel that he's gone because of the crossover event. But now that's changing because Oliver is probably going to disappear. Barry is gonna go through, and he's gonna exist. It's gonna change a lot of the time sequence.
Yeah. But yes, that is it for The Flash Season 5, Episode 11. And we will see you guys next time on Episode 12 to see how it turns out.
Yep.
And that is it. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.